Welcome to Value Vest Daily, where we deep dive into the best value and momentum investment opportunities. How does a brand new drink take on absolute giants like Red Bull and Monster and not just survive, but explode with growth? Well, today we're diving into Celsius, the company that is completely rewriting the rules of the massive $20 billion energy drink industry. Let's break down how they did it. For years, the energy drink story was pretty simple, right? It was a blast of sugar, artificial flavors, and caffeine for a quick buzz, usually followed by that dreaded crash. Celsius just walked onto the scene and completely flipped the script. They got rid of the high sugar, tossed out the artificial stuff, and came in with a zero-sugar formula that claimed to do way more than just wake you up. It actually promised to help you burn body fat. I mean, this wasn't just another flavor, it was a whole new ballgame. And that really gets to the core of their entire strategy. Celsius wasn't selling itself as a party drink or something to help you cram for an exam. No, they positioned themselves as a partner, a tool for an active, healthy lifestyle. They were selling function. Their promise is crystal clear. This isn't about giving you wings. It's about being your fitness partner. And you got to notice that key phrase right there, clinically proven. That's not just some marketing buzzword. It's the foundation of their entire competitive advantage, what investors call a moat. You know, like a giant protective wall around their business castle. So what exactly is this clinically proven moat? It all comes down to the unique science and tech they've built their whole brand on, and it all starts with their core formula. See, at the heart of every can of Celsius is this proprietary, trademarked formula they call MetaPlus. It's this very specific blend of ingredients. We're talking green tea extract, guarana, ginger root. This isn't something a competitor can just copy and paste. It is their secret sauce, the engine behind everything they claim. Okay, so this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, anyone can make a big claim, but Celsius took it a step further. They actually put their product to the test in real university studies. So what do they find out? And the results? Well, they made the science feel real. In one of their key studies, people who drank Celsius burned on average 100 more calories over a 3-hour period than the folks who just had a placebo. That is a simple, powerful number that really clicks with consumers. And it wasn't just a one-and-done study. They've built a whole portfolio of research that backs up their claims that the drink increases metabolism, that it's safe and effective over time, and that it even enhances the benefits of your workout. This scientific backing is that castle wall, that moat, that protects their brand from just being another healthy drink on the shelf. It's their proof. Now, having a great product is one thing, but turning that into massive business success, that's a whole different story. So let's look at how this unique positioning has fueled some truly, and I mean truly, explosive financial growth. The results really do speak for themselves. In the third quarter of 2025, Celsius reported a mind-blowing 173% jump in revenue compared to the year before. That's not just growth, my friends. That is hypergrowth. It shows the market is responding in a huge way. Let's pop the hood and look at the numbers. You'll see a market cap floating between $11 and $15 billion. Now, you might see that trailing PE ratio of 361 and think, whoa, that's insane. But here's the deal. The number to really watch is the forward PE. At a much more reasonable 33, it tells you that Wall Street is expecting earnings to grow dramatically. You add in a really low debt-to-equity ratio and positive free cash flow, and you've got a very healthy-looking balance sheet. So who believes in this growth story? Well, a lot of big money does. Institutions, we're talking the major funds, own over 60% of the company. That's a huge sign of confidence. And recent filings show that many of them are actually increasing their positions, betting that this growth story is really just getting started. Now, if there was one single event that poured jet fuel on the Celsius fire, it was their partnership with a global giant. This strategic alliance with PepsiCo was the key that unlocked a whole new level of growth. And it all happened so fast in 2025. First, Celsius acquired a competitor, Alani Nu. Then they acquired the US rights to Rockstar from PepsiCo, which really deepened their partnership. And by the end of the year, all of these brands were getting plugged into Pepsi's massive world-class distribution system. And this is the game changer right here. Celsius became Pepsi's US strategic energy captain. So what does that fancy title mean? It means suddenly Celsius got the keys to the kingdom. They now have access to shelf space in pretty much every gas station, grocery store, and convenience store in Pepsi's network. It basically solved their biggest problem, distribution, overnight. So with this new supercharged distribution network, what does the future hold? Let's turn to what the analysts on Wall Street are projecting for the road ahead. All right, let's take a quick look at the technical chart. As of late November 2025, the stock's kind of in a consolidation phase, just taking a breather. It's trading below its short-term moving averages, which suggests a little bit of recent weakness, but, and this is key, it's still above its long-term 200-day average. This often points to a healthy pause inside a much larger ongoing uptrend. In the shorter term, the general agreement among analysts is a price target of around $67 per share, which suggests some pretty healthy upside from where it's trading right now. But the long-term bull case is where the story gets really exciting. Let's translate those analyst price targets into potential returns. If you invested $10,000 today, based on the 3-year targets, that could potentially grow to over $34,000. But if you look out 5 years, that same investment could be worth over $68,000. That is, of course, assuming Celsius keeps executing on its plan. So here's the bottom line. Sustained growth at this kind of pace would put Celsius in a whole new league, projecting a market cap of over $50 billion by 2030. That's them entering the same territory as the industry giants it set out to disrupt in the first place. Of course, no investment is a sure thing. There are always risks. The giants, Monster and Red Bull, they're not going down without a fight. The stock's high valuation also means that any stumble in their growth could be punished pretty harshly by the market. And there's always the risk that integrating their new acquisitions doesn't go as smoothly as planned. These are definitely the key challenges to keep an eye on. Now, it is really important to remember that this explainer is for informational purposes only. It is not financial advice, so please always be sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions. So we end with a big question. Has Celsius truly built a durable, lasting moat with its science-backed, healthy energy brand? Or is this incredible run just a popular trend that could fizzle out in a market famous for its brutal competition? That's really the billion-dollar question for investors today. Please subscribe, like, and share ValueVest Daily for learning totally unbiased daily opportunities before you put your money to work. Hey, one more thing. Please put in a comment if you want us to deep dive into any specific ticker.